Nalini
Yes,
Sharma,
it
our
has.
legal editor, is joining me. Nalini, go ahead. Immediately the matter will be heard. What time are we expecting that to happen? And there's a K Kavitha plea also.
Yes, Pooja, the matter is going to be heard by a special bench of Justice Sanjiv Khanna, Justice Bela M. Dwivedi, and Justice M.M. Sundresh. This is the same bench that is currently hearing K Kavitha's plea, also challenging her arrest. Because remember, K Kavitha had also told the Supreme Court that her arrest was illegal because the Enforcement Directorate had specifically given a statement and assurance before the Supreme Court that they will not take any steps that will lead to a coercive action against K Kavitha. So that matter is also being heard by the same Supreme Court bench. The senior advocate Kapil Sibal, who is representing K Kavitha, today told the special bench during the hearing that he is extremely pained by what is happening in the country. He also says that the Enforcement Directorate cannot behave in such a way only because these are political persons. And the Supreme Court told him very categorically, Justice Sanjiv Khanna said, do not get emotional. Things are in the process. Even the PMLA review, which essentially determines the powers of the Enforcement Directorate, is something that is being considered by the Supreme Court. In the meantime, due process has to be followed. If K Kavitha has to apply for bail, she has to go to the lower court. And ideally, since the same bench is going to be hearing Arvind Kejriwal's plea also, we'll have to wait and see whether all of these matters together, coming together in the excise policy case, is going to expound the case, and as to whether or not the
help us understand this, that how does the party or Arvind Kejriwal approach the Supreme Court to say challenging arrest, because they will then, that means they want ED to not really get custody and him to get out of this custody of the ED within hours. Is that something as a precedent, as a protocol can happen? How will the court view this situation?
Well, Pooja, what we're given to understand is that Arvind Kejriwal has challenged the arrest itself, so it's essentially going to be on the legality of the arrest.
Okay.
Now, if Arvind Kejriwal's lawyers are able to prove before the court that proper due process was not followed before Arvind Kejriwal was arrested, or if they are able to prove that Arvind Kejriwal in fact can be released and will still cooperate with the Enforcement Directorate and with the questioning in the case, then Supreme Court might give them some relief, but it's going to be an uphill battle for Kejriwal, essentially because for the past 9 summons, Kejriwal has not been seen cooperating with the ED. In fact, the High Court had also questioned him on this, and they had asked him that why doesn't he appear as a common citizen is required to do under the law. So it remains to be seen what happens now. But in just a few minutes from now, we can expect for the bench to assemble and for the hearing.
And hasn't seen an immediate reprieve in these cases earlier, so it remains to be seen how will Arvind Kejriwal and the party approach the court and what does the court have to say. The hearing is set to begin in just a short while. And before I wrap up, we also have Congress's Mahima Singh, who continues to be with us. Mahima, appreciate your patience. Because you're also an advocate and a Congress spokesperson, do help us understand that. Do you think that Aam Aadmi Party can find this legality? And let's be honest, is this slightly awkward for the Congress party to be standing in solidarity and support with the AAP, because you have also targeted, the Delhi unit has targeted Aam Aadmi Party earlier on the same liquor policy, but today why does it think that it's important to put internal differences aside for your party, stand with AAP and Arvind Kejriwal?
Jai Hind, it is the killers of Mahatma Gandhi, the same power that killed Mahatma Gandhi, that is at play today, sabotaging every voice of dissent whimsically. And so when you ask me that what changes, the way this agency functions, the way all the agencies that report into the Ministry of Finance, that work under the government, which are supposed to be constitutional agencies working independently, the way they have been functioning, you see the likes of Suvendu Adhikari, Narayan Rane, Ajit.
All right, so there appears to be
similar
go ahead.
Actions were taken against the Congress leaders. Hold on. Allow me to complete my thought. Similar actions were taken against our leaders, Congress leaders, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, Mr. P. Chidambaram, and also right around the elections. But what was the fate of those cases, Pooja? You have to remember that both the leaders were acquitted later. I am only citing 2 cases. But 95% of the cases under this agency are actually running against the opposition. And what is the acquittal rate? If you look at the acquittal rate, that's actually shocking because the convictions are rare and the acquittals are plenty.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point because that will have to be, the ED will have to prove with
worth pondering over.
They have the evidence is what they are claiming, but for now, whether it's Arvind Kejriwal, Sanjay Singh, Manish Sisodia, K Kavitha.
No, it is worrisome that right ahead of Lok Sabha elections in 2024,
10 seconds.
you see
10 seconds.
Shazia, quickly, I have to wrap up. I have to wrap up. I get your point, Mahima. I get your point. Shazia, quickly.
I just want to say Ajay Makan, she has just thrown Ajay Makan under the bus by her statement. Ajay Makan, who was sitting right next to Rahul Gandhi ji yesterday, talking about the electoral funds and the account freeze. It is Ajay Makan.
That's a tough choice that Congress party has taken. They are saying, Shazia, they are saying that your party is dictatorship. They are collectively standing against it. But of course, there is a reason Ajay Makan is not there. But interestingly, I even saw Sandeep Dixit and Rahul Gandhi offering support. And it's a fair point that, Mahima, I am with you on that there has to be a certain, what the history has been of these cases and conclusion, that also will have to be looked at. I request all of you, Jasmine Shah, Mahima Singh and Shazia Ilmi, to continue to be with us.